Happy Halloween, nail geeks! Today I'm going to show you guys just a couple of nail art looks I have posted on Instagram over the last month. I thought a more in-depth look at what I did and was posting over there, and we can just go slow and almost like a nail art tutorial, if you will. So I hope you guys have a very safe day if you celebrate in festivities and whatnot. Otherwise, have a wonderful day. Let's dive right into the fun nail art. Okay, if you follow me on Instagram, I posted this to my stories when I also posted the actual little mini quickie video for the, I guess, tutorial, for lack of better words. I fell hard for this color. This is Zoya's Honey. It's so gorgeous. It was released last year in their Sunset collection. That whole set is just stunning, and the formula is beautiful, and this color is just crazy flattering. So I wore 2 coats for that, and I just applied as normal. And then I have been just obsessed with a French accent nail. I love it to pieces, and I've been talking the last couple of months about just falling back in love with my striping tool brush, and yeah, this is definitely where I started to reach for that brush for everything. I went in and just carefully made what I consider a little too thick at this point. This is one of the first times that I did it in a while in terms of freehanding instead of stamping that French design, but normally it's supposed to be a lot thinner than this. So just wanted to throw that out there. Of course, every time I do nail art and I go back to watch the video to edit it, like I'm looking at it now and I'm like, there are 1,000 things wrong with each of these nail art looks. But at the end of the day, it's almost therapeutic to do this. And this is always my me time. As harsh as I can be on my own critique, we are our own worst critics. And I do have to remember that this is for fun. This is my zen out time. So I know some of y'all are probably like me and you're harshly judging your nail art, or you look back and you're like, oh, I could have done this better, but hindsight is 2020. We're going to move on and we're going to just enjoy the time we spent on our hobbies. So I bought this plate from Beautometry, I want to say 2 years ago, either 2 or at least a year ago, and I didn't get to use it, and it was just a bummer that it's just been sitting in my collection. Those of you who follow me on Instagram, I had posted recently me organizing my stamping plates. I have hundreds of them into photo albums that I bought from a thrift store, and it was such a neat idea, a lot of fun project to get in touch with stamping plates I hadn't even thought about. So basically I'm going in and I just did a black image, and then I'm having the white dotted plaid image right over it, just kind of layering my images. And what I'm doing with that stamper in terms of the accent nail is I'm just gently scraping off anything that I don't want to get on my nails on the clear jelly stamper. It's something a little obvious, but not something a lot of people probably think about. So it's a lot easier, in my opinion, to use a lint roller or just your nail to get off what you need from that image and clean up your stamper before you use it. This is really a good technique to do on full images as well. So next I did, again, the Zoya Sunset collection. Again, just a beautiful set overall. And for this one, I went in and did a gradient with them. So I chose 2 to 3 colors out of the 6-piece set for each nail, and then I just kind of went ham with it. Now, I noticed on this first pinky finger here that this is entirely too thin. I'm gonna need an undie. I didn't overly heavily edit this video, so you guys could see basically the process that I do when I'm doing nail art. So again, I wanted this video to be real just zenned out, just chilling, almost like having some cocktails with a friend and just watching each other do their nails. So here I'm going in with Anchor and Heart Lacquer's Mermaid Tears, which is a fantastic base coat, but it also makes a beautiful neutral base. So it definitely gave me that little bit of opacity in the background that I was looking for. And then I kind of cheat when I'm doing thinner gradients like this, where the polishes need just a touch of help in order to get them just super opaque, and I'm not going to waste a whole lot of polish on my sponge. So here I'm just going in with the sponge, and then I just kind of dry brush a little bit the areas that need a little extra help. Now this is another one of my oldie plates. It's Bundle Monster S207, previously Bundle Monster, now it's known as Maniology, but this is one of my favorite plates. Another one that I found whenever I was organizing my now albums. Now I bought a bunch of them. They were like $1 a piece, and really neat how retro they are. Definitely gave me those nice nostalgic vibes, and they were big enough to hold all of my plates. So I've got 2 of the larger albums, and those hold those really giant ones like the AP Pila plates, things like that. And also these smaller ones like this one, and then the normal like Moyu rectangular plates too. So here I'm going in and just coloring in, doing some advanced stamping. The metallic polish there and the olive are both from Maniology, and then the white is Quixotic's white polish, just a white cream. And here I figure you guys would enjoy seeing some peeling action happening there. It's always so satisfying to watch that. And then that's it. I go in with my top coat. When you do advanced stamping like this, you want to make sure to go in with a very thicker glossy top coat, because you're going to have quite a bit of a texture and thirstiness overall from the different levels of polish on your nails. And for the next look I did, well, I was wanting to do more traditional Halloween colors, so black and orange, and again, obsessed with this French accent nail here. So this time I did it a lot thinner. I think this is quote unquote the more proper way, at least at what you see on social media and stuff, that doing it just a touch thinner, especially on shorter squared nails like this. So when I was doing this mani, I had this idea in my head that I was going to have ghosts on my pinky and my index fingers, and then I was going to do the French accent nail with some type of smaller image behind the French piece, and then behind the tip piece, and then some type of freehand on my middle nail. So I know I can't be the only one that halfway through your mani, you're like, oh, it should have looked like this. And then you just either redo it, get frustrated, give up sometimes. But this was the case that I said, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to stamp over what I did. So this is what I would consider a hot mess express. And again, I wanted this to be more of a Zen hang out with me type video. So I'm showing you guys literally exactly what I did. So I started off with the freehand image, and I was like, okay, I'm obsessed with ghost patterns, clearly, because the majority of these are ghosty patterns. And at first I was like, okay, I'm going to do like a ruffled look, like a freehand look. And then I realized that the white was a little bit too thick, so the ruffled look is going to look kind of silly. So I stopped doing that. And then I'm going in with a daughter tool, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to make the face and just leave it alone, make its mouth a little bit longer. And I was genuinely happy with that. I didn't really care for that quote unquote ruffly pattern I was trying to go for. It kind of ruined it if you ask me. But I realized also that I should have done some type of coloring in on the ghost images on my pinky and my index finger. So I was like, you know what? We're going to go right over it. And it looked okay on my pinky finger, but on my index finger, it's like, you can definitely see some just meshing of the images because I didn't get it perfectly lined up, but it is what it is. So if you go in with a thicker cream polish as your base, which is what I did there, you are able to clear off a little decal if you did something wrong like what I did. Just go in very lightly with acetone, blot it on a paper towel with your cleanup brush, and then you should be able to get the image off in general. If you're curious, the orange from this one is from Bluebird Lacquer, formerly Lou It Yourself. This is a very old cream that was released a couple years ago. And then next I wanted to do my take on the gradient thing that was really popular. I want to say maybe 2 months ago, we were seeing this all over Instagram, and I wanted to do my own version of that. So I'm using an OPI blue cream, one of my favorite creams actually. I've got a decent fill line going on it. It's super Califigiistic, that's the color, and then I've got Vapid Pessimist, which is the black cream here. So I'm using striping tape, and I've said it in a previous video, I absolutely hate striping tape. It's terrible. It's really tricky to deal with because it's so thin and it's not as sticky as it should be, but at the same time it's sticky enough to just get all over every single place except where you want it. It's a pain, but it does give you some really nice fine lines. It's just a pain to work with. I don't like it, especially if you're swatching and you're using liquid latex or anything like that, it's going to peel the crap out of it. It's a headache, but definitely worth it if you're wanting to do fine details. And then here I took it real slow, adding the glossy top coat because this was very satisfying. When you do heavy gradients like that, you're going to get a ton of texture and thirstiness too. And I have been using a giant fill bottle of Sweet and Sour Lacquer's gloss sauce. She gifted it to me, I want to say at least a year ago, and I'm still going strong on that fill bottle. I've seen in the past that she does her top coat for her Black Friday sales. I don't know if she's doing that for this year, but I can't recommend this top coat enough. This is definitely in my top 3 that I've used. It's wonderful. This one and then Night Owl Lacquer is definitely my 2 absolute hands down favorites. You can see that just how much it just really glossied and plumped it with that wonderful thick looking appearance to it. I've just been refilling it and then going in with a thinner as needed. Now here, my top coat did dry down quite a bit, so it wasn't sticking my stamping image, and I really wanted to do careful placement with which ghosts I was going to put on the nail. So I went in with DRK's Clingy base coat and another one that I bought through PPU, and I just let it get tacky for maybe 10 seconds, and you can see it adhered the stamp very well. Now this is a very old discontinued brand of holographic stamping polish. One of my friends was making it a long time ago, quite a few years ago. It is one of the best silver hollow stamping polishes, but if you want something similar in comparison, you're looking for that really oomph factor, I would recommend maybe Color Club Harp on It, or something of that nature. And then finally, for my last look, I did this one and posted it to Instagram yesterday morning, and I'm in love with this kind of Pinkoween sort of thing where it's this cutesy sort of spooky vibes, but it's typically pink. I've seen some purple and some pastel colors, and I'm actually reviewing this specific brand of gel right now. This is from Nail Reserve, and this was the first time I was messing around with them, so I figured, if I'm swatching it, I might as well, continue on my nail art journey and also add it to my compilation. So I wanted to round out my Halloween/fall manis and do some freehand. Again, obsessed with my striping tool. I'm using their colors Purple Addict, which is a stunning neonish sort of purple. It's very vibrant and crazy flattering. If you've got a medium to deep skin tone, it pops so well. And just adding some little stars and going in with their black cream here, which is Black Addict, and then also they have a beautiful silver glitter hollow here that is called Kiss Me Now. So I'll probably have these listed on Instagram once I do my more formal review on them, but I topped off with a matte top coat and I'm good to go. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, please be safe tonight if you are getting on with the festivities. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful evening. Happy Halloween, guys, and I will see you soon.